The opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and are not those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. The phone lines are open. Call in with your questions and comments at 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU. It's time for Stuart Laser Talk with your host, Dr. Tred J. Rissacher.
Good morning, Stuart, Florida. My name is Dr. Tred Rissacher, and I am the owner of the Slim Body Laser Spa located here in Stuart, Florida. And I am using an FDA-cleared laser device to accelerate, to speed up, to have more effective weight loss and body sculpting. Everybody knows how hard it is to lose weight. Everybody knows it takes time. A lot of us begin and never complete it, or we begin and jump out halfway through, or maybe we lose the weight and then get it back double in half the time it took us to lose the weight. If this is something you've struggled with, then I might have a solution for you. So my question is this: have you ever struggled to lose weight before, only to gain it all back and then gain more several months later? My procedure is for you if you have ever plateaued on your weight loss program, and no matter how little you eat or how many push-ups you do, you just cannot get the scale to budge. My Slim Body Laser Spa program is for you if you have ever been told that you have a slow metabolism and this is why you cannot lose weight. Boy, I've heard that a lot. Maybe this procedure is for you if you have ever felt so disgusted, so unhappy with your body fat and the way that you look, that you've actually considered dangerous procedures like surgical liposuction, freezing the fat, or melting fat with high-powered lasers? I hope not. Slim Body Laser Spa has a much safer, healthier option than those invasive processes. And they will tell you they're invasive. The cool sculpting crew will tell you that, it's just bye-bye bulge. But what happens when the bulge becomes a hardened tissue and you have to have it surgically cut out because of that machine? And that happens, 3%. So they do have risk. Not at the Slim Body Laser Spa. The Slim Body Laser Spa could be for you if you have ever lost weight before, and after losing weight, you've been left with loose skin and saggy skin, and now you're more unhappy than before you lost the weight. Well, I want you to know that anybody that is carrying around more than 50 pounds up to 100 pounds and you decide to lose weight, you are most likely going to be 50% of you are going to have to go to the surgeon to have the skin cut off, because massive weight loss, massive weight gain, followed by massive weight loss leaves people with loose skin. Have you ever had to give up foods and drinks you like to lose weight? If that's true, come into the Slim Body Spa. We'll talk about that. A lot of these foods and drinks that you think you have to give up, it's not true. It's more of a hormonal issue than it is a food issue. So we're trying to treat hormonal problems by eating less in food, and that just doesn't work because you're not treating the same problem. And I'm going to go over today all about the hunger hormones, by the way. I have a beautiful presentation made up for you to understand what the hunger hormones are and how they play on your desire to eat and to restore calories. Have you ever gained weight and increased the stiffness and pain in your neck, back, knees, feet? In other words, has the weight gain that you're carrying around ever caused you to have joint pain? Do your knees hurt? Do your feet hurt? Do your ankles swell at night? We can help you with that. Has your weight gain ever led you to have high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol from the weight gain? If you are on one or more of these medications, whether it's a high blood pressure, a cholesterol, a statin, something for diabetes, your metformin or glipizide, and you are still overweight, you are in a huge high-risk group, 40% more likely to die from cancer, stroke, heart attack, cardiovascular disease, or diabetes. Let me repeat that. If you're over 50 years old and you are overweight, you're 20, 40, 50 pounds overweight, and you're not eating great and you're not exercising very much, and you've been put on high blood pressure medication, you've been told you have the beginning of high blood sugar, pre-diabetes, maybe you've been put on a statin to lower your cholesterol. These drugs are simply remedies, part-time, temporary remedies for a problem internally within your body. Why your blood pressure is up, why your blood sugar is high, why your cholesterol is high is usually, most likely, for most of you, it has to do with eating improperly, not exercising, and then never really making those changes. So now we'll be put on those medications. Once we're put on all those meds, well, for a lot of you out there, you feel you don't have to continue to exercise or lose weight because you've been put on the med, and that's a big lie. If you're on these meds, you need help. Have you ever been discriminated against and felt that your weight has prevented you from getting hired for a job or have been passed over for promotions due to your excessive weight? Has your weight ever caused you to feel lonely, rejected, and shunned by others? Not included in the group? Boy, that happens to a lot of you out there. So these are just some of the feelings and emotions and situations that people are in that are most likely listening to this show right now. And you're saying to yourself, well, what's the big deal? If my doctor felt that I was at high risk for cancer and heart disease and stroke, why don't they tell me? They put me on this medication. Yeah, I got a handout on that I need to lose weight, or it was mentioned to me, but I have no program. I have no plan. And that's a problem. And what we do at the Slim Body Laser Spa is we have a program and a plan to help you to reduce the weight, to tighten the body, to help you with lessening, maybe possibly getting off some of those medications. So that's the message we're going to carry here. And it really does work. But I could tell you all day long how well it works, and you still might not believe me. So I have brought on some help. I brought on the big gun, as they like to say. And that would be one of my clients. And I know she's listening right now. She's saying, I am not a big gun. I'm a little gun. Anyway, Helen, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi there.
Morning.
Yay. Clap your hands. I'm sure you've heard that before.
Oh, yes.
By number one, right? Yeah.
Yes, number one is always on top of clapping the hands. Big improvement.
Giving you some motivation. Okay, well,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy retired lifestyle to give us a call here. And I'm sure it's going to be much appreciated. I want to preempt everybody that this is a real client. She came in, just probably listened to it, maybe on the radio, but saw some of our ads, came in for some help, and I'll let you tell her for there. So I'll let you explain it from there. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 85 years old. I do have some health problems, but actually what I came to the spa for was I have a lot of weight around my waist and my tummy area, and it was just cutting off my ability to be able to breathe right. And
Yeah.
I was feeling short-winded all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And very tired. And I thought, well, my daughter had really talked to me about coming to the spa. And I thought, well, that sounds like a good idea. So I have lost 6.5 inches. And I'm so pleased, very pleased. So much has improved since I've started the treatments. I've had 9 treatments, and to me, 6.5 inches is awesome.
Wow.
So,
to anybody, that's a lot.
Yes.
For anybody, yeah, that's a lot.
It's a big improvement to a lot of things. I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. Before I was so tired all the time. I had to take a nap in the afternoon sometimes, after I had a nap, I needed another nap. And now I don't even take a nap. Now I'm just full of energy. And I just think this program is awesome. I love the staff. Number one is awesome. She's very encouraging all the time. And of course, you are as well. And I just can't say enough about the program because to me, I am truly satisfied, very satisfied. And I think everyone should give it a try because it really works.
Right. And at 85, you had a whole host of different problems, right? I mean, you've had some spinal fusion. You have rods that have been put in your back, right? From your, what did you say, from the base of your neck down to your tailbone?
Yes, to the base of my neck, down, clear down to beyond
completely
my tailbone.
fused. And people say, well, you can't do any exercise or, but you have to, because if not, you don't get better. And
exactly.
And we took that into account when we worked with you. You didn't get thrown onto the machine standing up. We started out in a chair, right?
Right.
Put your feet on it, and that helped with circulation.
Absolutely.
And there was no drastic food changes, was there? No.
Well, yes, there's a diet I've been following, and I've lost 13 pounds.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
along with the inches.
Yes.
Wow.
And the diet is very easy. Just eat a lot of protein and veggies, and eat clean and
green. Lean, clean, and green.
Green.
And when do you weigh yourself? On Thursday,
I
right?
weigh myself. Well, actually, now it's on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
They're on Thursday, but Wednesday, and I see progress every time I step on the scale.
Right.
So,
and I've seen progress in you too. I have to share a little story. Yesterday, I was speaking to a client out in the parking lot, a new guy. We were talking, and who pulls up in her little car but Helene. And Helene, and she doesn't notice. I don't think you saw me there, but what were you running a little late yesterday?
No, I was just, that's me. I've got a little more energy.
She jumped out of the car, went around to the back, opened up the hatchback, pulled out that helper that helps her so she, feel more confident walking, and boom, up the ramp she went, didn't even turn around. I was like, did you see that? I said, when that woman came in, and she came in with her daughter, and they had to like bring her up to the stairs. Remember, you sat down and you were bent over forward and trying to get your breath. I couldn't believe the difference in 3 weeks.
How much of an improvement I've made.
3 weeks. I was shocked.
Yes. Well, I didn't say much to you because you were involved.
Oh, you did see me there.
Yeah. Oh, I certainly did. Yes. I didn't
know.
want to interrupt your conversation, but yes, when I got my heart set on something, I was anxious to get in there and get my treatment.
Well, that's wonderful. I couldn't have said it any better than you. You've been fantastic. And I want you to know, we at the staff, me and Juan and Christina, we really appreciate you. You have definitely been the one of the apples of our eye of doing this last 3-4 weeks. You've been coming in there. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
And how's your daughter? She's a superstar too.
Oh yes,
that girl.
She's doing fine. She's kind of busy right now. That's why she hasn't come in with me. She's got a lot going on in her office, so she's got a lot of clients, new clients, just turning 65. So
that's right.
She's had to contact a lot of new people. So she's getting her contacts built up. But anyways, I just wanted to call and let your listeners know that they need to think about that program because it's a winner.
That's right.
I am pleased with taking the time to say I need to do something for myself, and that was the best choice I could have made.
So in the scheme of things, knowing that it's not inexpensive, but it's not super expensive, it was $2,800, correct?
Yes.
And do you feel it was worth it? I know it was a little pricey when you did it. I know you were concerned.
Oh, yes. It is absolutely worth it because
got your life
you can't
back.
put a price on your health. And it was detrimental to my health to be carrying around all this weight
Right.
and around my belly because and my girth was a little bigger than I am tall. I'm only 4'8", but
It wasn't that bad. You're funny.
when you've got a belly around you that's cutting off your wind.
Well, that I saw, but
pretty much
I don't think your belly is as big as you are tall. That's not that bad.
an exaggeration.
We could roll you out if that were true. No.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And I was looking forward to this call this morning. Juan told me about it yesterday. Okay. See you in the office.
I'll possibly see you tomorrow.
Okay, darling. Bye-bye. Yeah. Another, so let's see, 8 years, 52 weeks in a year. That's probably testimonial number, I don't know, 500, something like that. We've had a lot of calls. Mike was kind of keeping count of them because there's so many. And these are, she's a real person. I think that's obvious. She lives in the area and she's 85 years old, I think she said. And listen, I know you're listening to this if you're been listening to my program, and you might be thinking, well, I'm on medications and it's too much, or can it really help me with all my health problems? My answer is most likely yes. You'll never know unless you give us a call and come in for that free consultation. I can't give you the exact information on Helene's case, but I mean to say she had enough meds to fill 2 pages of medications. I mean, it was I guess it was over 25 different meds that she has to take, and they're for all sorts of things. Gabapentin, things for her back, the pain relief, things for her blood sugar. It just goes on and on. It was shocking when I saw that. So yet none of it was a contraindication towards what we did. What we're doing is so safe, it's so non-invasive, and it's foundational. Meaning it's a foundation of life and health. Foundational concepts can't be violated if you want to have a full life, a wonderful life. So what would be a foundational concept? You have to drink water every day. That's foundational. There's no way around that. Our body is composed of 76% of your body's weight is water. You have to drink water. Now, you might get it through your coffees and teas and alcohol. There's different ways you get water, maybe through the food you're eating, water-based, things like that. But you don't absorb it through the air. You got to drink it. That's foundational. Okay. Another foundational aspect of health is the law of movement. You have to move your body. The only way the way your body functions, the muscles are meant to be moved. And when you move, you distribute the food that you eat. So if you eat the best food in the world and you don't distribute the energy to the cells, you don't move it through the body, then you're going to be sick. It's a foundation. It's called a law of movement. And it's more than going to the refrigerator and back to the TV. You have to move the body. You got to exercise every day. Number 3 foundation is the law of nourishment. Your body is built by the foods you eat. So your tissue, your heart, your muscle tissue, your bone tissue, your nervous system, your immune system, these systems are in constant repair. They're always being broken down and rebuilt by the body. The nutrients that you eat, the nutrients in the food that you eat must rebuild the body. So if you're eating food which is super healthy and free of chemicals and free of additives, if it's as natural as God intended it, vegetables and fruits and lean proteins, you're going to give yourself the nutrients necessary to build an incredibly strong body that will last, the full 120 years that we're designed to be here. If you're eating food which is processed and devitalized, and it's way too much sodium and fat and sugar, and processed foods, you're not getting the nutrients that you need to build the tissue. Your body is only going to be as healthy and as well as the food that you put into it. And I'll tell you, if you're buying food from the middle of the grocery store, and that would be in those aisles, you're probably making some poor choices. The best foods are around the rim, around the edges, the produce center, the meat rack, and then go around the back to the dairy, and you got to make good choices there too. But that's a foundational aspect of life. These are foundational. Can't violate the foundational aspects of life and expect to be healthy. Number 3, rest and recuperation. How many of you out there are not getting enough sleep? I'll tell you, if you're not getting between 6 to 8 hours, and some people, kids, teenagers need 10 or more hours, you're going to be suffering from the waste products that aren't being released. You're not getting enough sleep time, so there's not enough tissue repair. The mental capacity, your cognitive functions, how your brain functions, needs sleep. And if you're always deprived of sleep, you're going to be anxious and have high cortisol and have stress, and you'll be falling asleep during the day, which can be dangerous if you're a truck driver. So sleep is very important. And the other part is the other 50% of rest and recuperation is having good hobbies, things you like to do, things that are enjoyable, creative things. We're very creative humans, and we need to create, even if it's painting or ceramics or creating woodworking or making birdhouses for all the birds around. Those people that have those kinds of hobbies and do things that are enjoyable, even the fishermen, the hunters, they have more health and happiness than people who don't have those hobbies. It's just true, because they look forward to their hobby. Work isn't everything. I know when I stop working, I got a lot of things I like to do because I have a very rich recuperation and resting situation in my life. Known that for years. I'm a chiropractor. I watch people lose their health and their wealth trying to get money, and then spend their wealth trying to regain their health. And I'm not going to let that happen to me. Okay. And the next one, which is critical, is the law of cleanliness, internal and external sanitation. In other words, you got to keep your body clean. You got to, take showers every day. If you get dirt, get it off your body. If you don't shower for 2 or 3 days, the toxins which come out of your skin actually will be reabsorbed by the body back into the system. And that can be very bad. So we know the importance of keeping our outside clean. It's not a lot of people walk around, like pig pen from Peanuts. Doesn't happen too often. And but the other part, which is shocking to me, is how quickly we are to put chemicals in our body. The internal sanitation, which is what you choose to put in your mouth, has more of an impact on your health than what you choose to not wash off your body. So you have to be clean inside and outside. And if you get too much dirt on the outside of your body, you have to work extra hard to scrub and to clean that off. You might need different solvents, soaps and things to get off some of the, maybe you got grease on your body. It takes more work. Well, if you've been eating really bad foods, nutritionally impoverished foods, processed foods, chemical things like aspartame and Splenda and all these artificial sweeteners, plus all of the food dyes and petroleum products that go into processed foods, you have accumulated toxins in your body. These toxins don't leave the system. They get stored in the system. They get stored in the fatty tissue. So maybe you've decided, I'm cutting out all this garbage. I'm not going to have all this crappy, poisonous food, which is so common. And now what do I do? Well, you need to clean it out. You need a detox program. Just like you're tired of being dirty, tired of being pig pen, you decide to start taking showers again. You're going to have to clean out the inside too. Those exposures, those chemical exposures that you've put yourself through either willingly or unwillingly by living in a toxic environment. You need to detoxify and get that stuff out of your body. And there's very simple ways to do it. There's supplements that can do it, detoxification, herbs that help. There's juicing helps with getting rid of toxins. There's also things like chelation, intravenous chelation. That's where you would go to a medical doctor and they would do an IV drip. I think it's like twice a week, and they use a very strong chemical, vitamins and minerals that help to chelate, which means to make a bond and carry out of the body some of these toxins. And so does exercise, helps to detoxify the body. So does sweating, drinking a lot of fresh water, and then exercising and perspiring. Dry heat saunas are very effective at that. Taking supplementation, vitamins, minerals, especially the antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, selenium. These are very important for detoxifying and removing these impurities, which are stored in your fatty tissue. So those are principles of health. These are foundations. I'll review them really quick here. The law of movement, exercise, the law of nourishment, getting the right foods, the law of rest and recuperation, that is having enough sleep and having enough pleasurable things you like to do on your off time. And then the last one is the law of internal and external sanitation. That's cleanliness both on the body and outside of the body. Okay, I am going to take a real quick break here. And when I come back, I am going to go over the hunger hormones. Now, the hormones control your appetite, and they also control when you're hungry and when you feel full. So these hormones, you're going to know a few of them, but there's some of them here that you're not going to know. And I'm going to make a real quick a list of them. I'm going to go over what each one does, and I'm also going to go over how you can increase the hormones that help you to lose weight and decrease the hormones that make you want to eat and gain weight. So come back, pay attention. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Now back to Stuart Laser Talk here on WSTU 1450. And back to your host, Dr. Tread J. Rissacher.
Hey, we're back. Thank you for tuning in. You're at the Slim Body Laser Spa. We're at our halfway, and we're going to go over hunger hormones. And I want to shout out to we have a new board host here, a new host, leader extraordinaire. And this guy's got some skills in computers and download. It's been great to watch him. Evan, say hi.
How you doing,
my
Dr.
listeners.
Tread? It's so nice to be here and running your show for you. It's a pleasure. I've come on. This is my third week as host of the morning show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And boy, it's been a great ride so far.
This is how busy this guy is. He actually had to ask what kind of doctor I was just now.
I did, because I have so much stuff going on. You see me in my world. I'm doing 9 things at one time.
I'm a chiropractor. Everybody knows I'm a chiropractor.
I'll have you fix my back.
I even have it on my shirt.
All right.
That's why I figured I better get him involved here.
All
right. Thank you so much, Evan. All right. So listen, pay attention. Now, believe me, we make choices when it comes to food. There's a desire My dad used to tell me this, and he was a chiropractor for many, many years, 50 years. He said, if you simply calm yourself, relax, allow your innate, your nature to make decisions for you, you will know what types of food you need. Your body, when it doesn't have nutrients, it craves those nutrients. There's a way that your body talks to you to tell you, hey, you need more protein. You're not getting enough protein, or you need more carbohydrates. You need more fresh vegetables, or more fats, more oils in your body. These are what give you health and life. And you have an ability, if you just calm yourself and concentrate on it, to know how to eat properly. But we have lost that communication. We watch TV and we read books and we watch advertisements and we are go to the stores to get gasoline, and we are just flooded with images about crappy, devitalized food. I mean, I took a picture at Racetrack. Wonderful store, super efficient. All those girls and people are really nice. They got the whole counters when you come in there. They got the custom coffee now. They got those smoothie machines. And there's very little good food in there. I mean, everything is processed. They do have, of all the choices, Racetrack has some pretty good stuff in their coolers there. They got some vegetables, they got some sandwiches, but their advertising is enormously effective at pulling you to the high sugar content foods, the high carbohydrate foods, the racks of chips, the racks of candy bars, the energy drinks, the sodas. I mean, they have these big signs that drop down from the ceiling that are they're as big as a half a billboard when you walk in, pointing, the beer cave. And these people, believe me, these companies spend millions of dollars on promoting their products, and they know what makes a person choose something when they walk in from outside in their car. You're driving, you're typically, maybe you're getting a little hungry, maybe you're feeling sleepy or tired because of the drive, and you go into that Racetrack or any of these places, and you look for something, a quick energy fix, something sugar. They know that. These are choices that you make based on hormonal messengers. Your hormones that your body produces are a hormone is a messenger produced by the body which stimulates functions. Like one hormone might make you hungry. One hormone might make you want to have sex. One hormone might make you sleepy and tired. Another hormone, it builds muscle strength, testosterone. Another hormone helps you loosen your bowels to go to the bathroom. These hormones are chemical messengers produced by the body which initiate a desire or a need that has to be fulfilled. So would it be good to know the ones that make you hungry versus the ones which tell you you're okay? That's what this list is about. So hormones affect your appetite. They also influence your hunger and when you feel full. They tell you when to stop eating and when you need to eat. Have you ever caught yourself mindlessly eating with little awareness of hunger? Excuse me. Only to realize that a handful of crackers turned into the entire box? Alternatively, perhaps you've ever been so caught up in your busy day that you forgot to eat altogether, only to suddenly discover you were absolutely ravenous hungry. If so, then you have experienced the sometimes puzzling effects of specialized signaling molecules in the body, formerly referred to as the hormones. And these are hormones of appetite that make you want to eat, and satiety, which makes you feel that you've already eaten. There is a significant correlation between these recently identified hormones and how your gut communicates with your brain to regulate your weight. So these hormones communicate with your gut, send messages to the brain to regulate your weight. The relationship is currently the subject of intensive new research, mostly on mice, with researchers and field experts digging for clues that will help people quickly lose excessive weight while keeping it off for good. More, these studies are finally helping everyone involved recognize that weight loss is not simply a question of mind over matter. That weight loss is not simply a question of willpower over matter. These are hormonally released desires. And believe me, when hormones are running the show, good luck changing them. Just think of your teenager, hormones going crazy, and try to rationalize with him or her. It's very difficult. When your hormones are telling you to eat and you're starving, and if you don't eat, you're going to perish, even though it's obvious that you're way overweight, the hormones are active here, not your willpower. You have to fight the hormonal influence. And believe me, when you have a hormonal flush, when hormones are produced to get something to happen in your body, it's an entire systematic thing. It isn't just in your finger or in your hand. It involves your whole body. That's why people have such a hard time when they have high cortisol, high cholesterol, high hormonal influences. They just are absolutely at odds with it, because to deny that hormone, to deny the hormone its release and its reward, it makes you sick. It makes you feel terrible. And there's a reason for that. God wants you to eat when it's time to eat and exercise when it's time to exercise. And if you didn't have the hormonal influences, you wouldn't know to do it. You wouldn't know it's time to eat. These hormones have been put over thousands and millions of years of evolution to come to this point. So it's, again, I'll repeat this. These studies are helping everyone involved recognize that weight loss is not merely a question of mind over matter, it's hormonal. So let's go over these hormones. Your hormones that signal I'm hungry or I'm full. So those would be the ones that I'd want to know about. The ones that tell me I'm full. Okay, where can I get that? Okay, now there's a mixed cast of characters when it comes to the hormones that tell you I'm full. Some pressing the yes, I'm hungry button, while others pull the no, I'm not. Curiously enough, some of them actually can do both. So that's why it's so hard to study this stuff. Several of these are well-known hormones, while others are newly discovered. However, together, they're carrying much of what manages our eating behaviors. So I'm going to go over a quick overview of this complex and fascinating network. Now, I know we're a little restricted with time, and this is something that would probably take a day to really understand. So I'm going to jump through these fairly quickly. The first one that tells you that you're hungry and it makes you feel hungry is something called ghrelin. The hormone called ghrelin. And it's spelled Grelin. And you know how I remembered this in college was when your stomach is growling, you're making ghrelin. So if your stomach's growling, you're making ghrelin. All right. So that's how I remembered that. Ghrelin is a peptide, which is a protein chain released by endocrine cells. Now, most of those endocrine cells are within the stomach's lining, but they're also within the fatty tissue. Endocrine cells are fatty tissue too. It counteracts leptin. Now, leptin increases metabolic efficiency and stimulates appetite. And it normally indicates hunger. So if your stomach's growling, you're making ghrelin. Okay, so that's how that works. Ghrelin is a hormone which makes you hungry. The neuropeptide Y, NPY. It's an extremely potent stimulator of feeding behavior. It is also the most abundant neuropeptide in the brain. In addition to its function in feeding behavior, it also takes part in circadian rhythms when you sleep and waken and restful rhythms. It controls sexual functioning and also mediates anxiety responses. So clearly, NPY, neuropeptide, is a player. Much research is being done on this hormone, as many are very invested in finding out what the magic answer is for obesity. So that would be ghrelin, leptin and neuropeptide Y, NPY. So here's some more. Leptin. Have you ever heard of leptin? They're always trying to, I see it sometimes on the ads. They're trying to, leptin is the Greek word for thin. So we're looking for leptin. We're searching for leptin. Leptin is synthesized within your fatty cells. So your fat cells make leptin, and they work as a full factor to tell you that you've had enough food. It works on the brain to dampen eating behavior while increasing energy expenditure. Wow, where do I sign up for that? Leptin appears to act, at least in part, by inhibiting NPY, which I just went over, is called neuropeptide. And this is an extremely potent stimulator feeding behavior. Leptin appears to inhibit NPY. So these are the new hopes of a magic weight loss pill based on leptin have yet to reach any fruition. So this is where a lot of research is going to try to make leptin. Leptin is synthesized within the fat cells. So, we can't really supplement it. It controls, when we know we're full. Here's another really important one. Adiponectin. Adipo means fat and ectin is a mixture. So adiponectin is a hormone which is a mixture of anti-inflammatory peptides, which are proteins that prevent inflammation, which are secreted by your fat cells. Adiponectin helps regulate energy balance and the metabolism of sugars and fats, as well increasing insulin sensitivity. Paradoxically, overweight people have less circulating adiponectin than slim individuals. What triggers its secretion from fat cells is still unclear. So this is a very complex system that's going to take more time to understand. The peptide PYY, has been shown to slow digestion, suppress appetite, and significantly reduce food consumption. That's the peptide. There's another hormone called cholecystokinin, abbreviated CCK. Cholecystokinin is released in the duodenum, which is considered your small intestine, in response to high fat or high protein meals. It signals the brain to produce a sense of fullness. Fatty meals are an especially effective trigger in the release of CCK. So we know that protein meals and meals that have higher levels of fat make you feel fuller longer, and you're happier with eating those than just eating carbohydrates. And that's because fatty meals are a trigger for the release of this hormone, CCK. That's why protein and healthy, good fats are your friend with weight loss. I've always taught that. While it's tempting to think of the above hormones as little minimal players with somewhat specific effects, the reality is we don't really fully understand their effects. However, there's a few well-known hormones that are very important. So when it comes to natural weight loss, which is on your own, the hormones that regulate metabolism, which is how quickly you build tissue and tear down tissue. That's the definition of metabolism. It's your burn rate, how quickly you burn energy. Some people have slow metabolisms and have weight gain. Others have fast metabolisms. These hormones control metabolism, and they play an enormous role in controlling your weight. Those three major hormones are insulin, cortisol, and thyroid. So I'm going to go over each one real briefly here to explain what they are, because you need to know this. Insulin, cortisol, and thyroid. Insulin. Any discussion about hormones, metabolism, and healthy weight would be incomplete without including this major player in the hormone scenario. Insulin determines whether blood sugar gets used right away for immediate energy or whether or not it's stored as fat. So insulin is what makes fat. Furthermore, because fat is not simply passive energy storage, as previously thought, but also functions as an endocrine organ that produces important hormones, what we really eat does matter when it comes to losing weight and keeping it off. Insulin levels are directly impacted by our diets, particularly the ratio of carbohydrates to fiber, fat, and protein. Any disruption in the insulin regulating mechanism, such as insulin resistance, has an immediate influence on several of the lesser metabolic hormones. I'm going to repeat that. That is really, really important. Insulin levels are directly impacted by your diet, particularly the ratio of carbohydrates to fiber, fat, and protein. So the ratio, in other words, if you're having too many carbs and you're not eating enough fiber, fat, and protein, you are impacting insulin and creating insulin sensitivity over time, leading to type 2 diabetes. If you can increase the ratio of fiber, fat, and protein and have less carbohydrate, you're going to be able to reduce insulin sensitivity and make it where your insulin works again, and you will cure and relieve yourself from type 2 diabetes. Holy cow, that's important. Thyroid. Your thyroid plays a lead role in everyone's unique physiology. Women often question if a recent increase in weight could be due to a thyroid imbalance. This is a question I hear on a daily basis. Well, the thyroid does act very much like a gas pedal in regulating your metabolism. We often find its relationship to weight gain is more indirect. Sluggish thyroid function, or an underfunctioning thyroid, is a consequence of an imbalance between the other hormones. Now, this next classification of hormones covers a lot of different hormones, but they're lumped together under the stress hormones. Now, stress is something that we produce when we're being challenged to fight, anger, uncomfortableness, lack of sleep. All these things cause increased stress, and your body produces a cocktail of poisonous hormones, which over time, the instant you have them, it saves your life. But if you don't get rid of them and you carry them for too long, they make you sick. So let's go over the stress hormones. An adrenal imbalance, the adrenal glands sit over your kidneys, and these produce adrenaline. Adrenal imbalance caused by excessive anxiety, stress, and cortisol production is typically at the top of the list when it comes to unwanted weight and hormonal imbalance. Sustained high cortisol levels can lead to intense cravings and binge eating. High cortisol can throw off any or all of the other hormones in the body, whether they're major or minor, setting off a chain reaction that leaves your body in a chronic crisis mode. The simple significance of this is that no diet will succeed if you are under tremendous stress, no matter what you do. A simple saliva test can reveal whether your daily cortisol levels are in line with where they need to be. And you can contact my office if you're interested in understanding more about the stress hormones. You've also got another hormone called melatonin, which regulates circadian rhythm, and this helps you go to sleep at night. Melatonin is very important for sleep, and it's proof that if you get enough sleep, you lower cortisol, and when you lower cortisol, you have less weight gain. Sex hormones, progesterone, testosterone, these are minor hormones, although they take a lot of work. So these are just a few of the simple hormones we have. If you're interested in finding out more, call my office, come in for a free consultation, or you can use my email, slimbodylaserspot@gmail.com. I can send you a copy of this work so you can have it for yourself. And I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to my program. And also want to thank Helene for her testimonial. Super powerful, you guys. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, or maybe you're fat, sick and tired, give us a call. I can definitely help you. I can help get that weight off. We can help reduce your hormones and make them better. Make them a lot better. That's what it takes. And we're there to help every single day. Dr. Tread's Slim Body Laser Spa. Google it. Use your cell phone. Hit the button. We're there to help. I have openings today, all this week. We have room available for you. And we're good to go. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.